Wow, it is officially Spooktober. I can't believe it. This is insane that the year is like, we only got like 3 months left of 2025, and it's my favorite month of the year, October. I guess, jeez. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna touch a lot more and base like, my plans for like the rest of this month, the rest of the year, and my schedule rambling I plan on making. So if you guys have not had a chance to vote my latest poll, please do so whenever you can in my community tab. But yeah, I just got done with watching episode 3 and 4 of a season 5, the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and these two episodes, they were interesting. Like, there was Don Vizioso, the gangster guy. He has the Shredder's heart, and Bebop and Rocksteady are trying to steal it from him, and then like the Turtles are trying to get it from him before Bebop and Rocksteady do, and like Donnie's on his whole like quest for revenge against Vizioso. And it's funny because they're both Dons. Like, there's Don and there's Donatello, and like Leonardo teaches him that, let's say, hey, like, getting it overly consumed with revenge does you no good. The episode ends with Donnie sparing Vizioso and turning him over to the police instead of just killing him. Which I thought was really interesting. This because Donnie is supposed to be like the smartest of the turtles yet, but he still is prone to doing reckless things. We all are from time to time. Episode 4, on the other hand, was a doozy. I'm confused, but also very curious to see what direction the rest of the season is going. The rest of what this series is going in, actually, because it's like, Carvaxus, has like Shredder's heart, and the Kariba Kabuto or whatever it's called, and resurrects Shredder as being his undead minion, right? And it just goes all over the place. I was speculating if we ever see like a Shredder's Goons redemption arc, and we almost get that. Because Fishface tells the Turtles and, Casey and April as, like, how, like, all of the little, like, mutant Shredder things, like, came to life in the sewers and, like, how, and their weaknesses. And it's, like, because he wants to go back to a life of crime. And then we see, like, the episode ends with Tiger Claw calling a truce with the Turtles and just going his own way. And also he kicks Razar into the Netherworld pit. It's, like, it gets so, like, Carvaxus is just like becomes the new master of all dimensions, and like we see Ho Chan come back as a ghost, but mostly Splinter come back as a ghost too, and get into a fight. And then Mikey saves the day by using bubblegum to piece together the ancient seal that controls Carvaxus and orders Carvaxus to bring everything back normal and go back to the Netherworld, taking Shredder with him. So I was really convinced that the rest of the series would be following, this fire demon and, like, Shredder being this undead goon. But that whole arc kind of just ends. So I'm very perplexed as, like, what direction the rest of the series is going. And, like, we don't have... As a matter of fact, if my memory is correct, October 1st of last year, it's officially been a year since I've been doing this Turtle Tuesday series. Since Daily Reacts talked me into, like, watching the 2012, getting Paramount Plus and watching, like, the Ninja Turtles show and reviewing it as part of a series, for you guys. With all that being said, I've been coupling these Turtle Tuesday videos with, like, with movie reviews and, like, real turtle facts and just, like, other things, and doing live streams out of it. But tonight, I want to do something a little different. I got home from work later than expected today, so I needed to go home, take a shower, and, like, eat some food while watching these episodes. And it's like, it's officially been 3 weeks since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and there's quite a bit that I want to get off my chest for the rest of this video. So let me just say this right now: if you are not in the headspace to hear me talk about politics, if you are not in the headspace to hear me talk about my feelings towards everything that's been going on with my country and, like, society within the past, like, month, or heck, the past, like, several years at this point, feel free to click off this video right now. Like, this is the Turtles review portion of this video is ending right here, because the news kind of hit me like a wall when I found out that someone murdered Charlie Kirk, because I actually met Charlie Kirk twice. Way back in 2018, my freshman year, the spring semester of my freshman year at CSU, and that following fall semester of my sophomore year, I met Charlie Kirk during the Q&A sessions, like, I got to ask him a question once, and I got to ask him another question the second time. The first time I did so, I got it on camera back when I dyed my hair pink, and Charlie Kirk he seemed really annoyed at me for coming up to ask him a question because I guess he assumed that I was like gonna challenge his views or something like that because I dyed my hair pink. I'm just gonna play this clip out for you right now because that video that I filmed at his event was like really long, but I plucked this clip out for you guys tonight.
But if you need to film it, that's cool too.
Yeah, I do. All right, so Mr. Kirk, I saw this flyer about you the other day, because I got.
It must be true.
Oh, well, it says Fort Collins turns away Turning Point USA. No bigotry, no ethnocentrism, no jingoism, no nationalism, no racism, no xenophobia, no Turning Point USA, and no Charlie Kirk. Seeing stuff like that and all the protesters outside smoking fat-ass blunts right outside the LSC, like when you see stuff like that, things about you, people hating you like that, well, how does that make you feel?
That's actually a great question. I thought you were going to, ask about something else. Because you're reading off the flyer. So, look, here's all I can say. If really in this country you have to resort to those kind of isms and ists about me, which is so patently false and terribly untrue, that is one of the most intellectually lazy and dangerous approaches to politics. You're seeing it more and more in modern society. I disagree, therefore that person is a racist. I disagree, therefore that person hates women. I disagree, therefore that person is an elitist and a sexist, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Come here and have a discussion and have a disagreement, that's fine. But don't spread that propaganda, but you know what it means? It means we're making an impact. It means we're winning. And I'm not sick of it yet. And
one more thing, Mr. Kirk. I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised by the things that we both agree with tonight. I have to ask you this. I've come to believe that America needs like a third or fourth or fifth main party, like a multi-party system, not just the Democrats and Republicans representing us every year at the elections. Like 2016 was my first year voting, and I was not pleased with the main two.
Understandable. I will agree as soon as the Democrat Party splinters into the Socialist Party and the Democrat Party, and then it will make a lot more sense. But the problem is it's going to be who blinks first. If the Republicans splinter, Democrats are going to control everything, and they're going to be in total monopoly of control. So it's going to be a question of who blinks first. Principally, I agree with you that we have a country of 330 million people that are represented by two viewpoints, and a lot of those viewpoints are not exactly always widely held. You're right that you make a great observation. The problem is, as I'm kind of hearing, like, wow, I don't agree with a lot of these Republicans or what they're doing. I don't agree with the Republican Party a lot of what they're doing. But oh boy, if we hand the keys over to the opposition, we're going to be sitting during the national anthem. For God's sakes, the State of the Union. I mean, so that's the problem I have. You understand? But I think we need more diversity of ideas in political parties. And look, I think the two-party system is something that was warned about by the founding fathers, actually.
It was.
No, I know.
George Washington was independent for a reason.
See, I was trying to assume, ignorance, and you have to. See, I'm kidding. You're doing great. So I agree with you, my friend. I think we need more ideas, but it should not be the Republicans that blink first. As soon as the Democrats start to split, which they will, then we can have other principled leaders come and pop up. So you good observation there. Thanks for the right.
All right, I want to apologize. I don't know why. I had so much shaky hand when I was holding my camera during my question and answer session with Charlie Kirk back then. But if I went back in time, 7 years ago, and told soon to be 20-year-old me that Charlie was murdered all these years later for doing his usual thing, going to college campuses and someone killing him in cold blood right in front of his wife and his two young children. I was I'm speechless now, and I know I would have been back then. It's honestly, I'm still kind of I'm shocked to this day as what's happening in this world, because literally that same day that Charlie was murdered, there was another school shooting in Colorado, and there was Irania, that I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, that Ukrainian girl who was stabbed and murdered in cold blood on the bus in Charlottesville in North Carolina, a refugee, an immigrant who came over from Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. I'm of Eastern European descent myself, and it's she came to America like how my grandparents did from Lithuania after World War II, looking for a better life in a country where she thought that she'd be safe, and someone murdered her for no reason. I'm shocked I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm confused, and I'm worried. Like, almost, like, I've been worried about another civil war breaking out for longer than I'd like to admit at this point, because freedom of speech, even speech that you strongly disagree with, that you find hateful or offensive or edgy or whatever else, is no reason to murder someone. Like, I would still be making this video. I would be equally speechless if a high-profile left-wing figure like Vosh or Destiny or Hassan Piker or Amanda Seales or anybody else. Now, for the record, those people I just mentioned all have views that I strongly disagree with. But if they were just murdered out in the open like that in front of their followers or in front of college students or whoever else, I would still be speechless. Violent crime and political violence should horrify us all, regardless of who it's perpetrated by or who it's directed at. I just feel like people nowadays are so blinded by their rage and their entrenchment in these labels. I hate labels. Entrenchment in these political ideologies and parties. Being like, oh, I'm labeling myself liberal or a leftist or a conservative or a right-winger because of people mistreating me or XYZ, or like people just getting so into like these, like so consumed by their politics and their rage and their rage and their hatred towards people of different views and identities, they forget that that a wife lost her husband and, like I said, 2 small children lost their dad. To them, Charlie wasn't some just political activist. He was just daddy. Like, you can't fight hatred and intolerance with hatred and intolerance and expect me to take you seriously. And dear left-wingers, leftists, liberals, Democrats, feminists, SJWs, people from those, like, ideologies, you are no place to just dismiss people you disagree with as being fascist or bigoted or hateful or intolerant, while you just like constantly advocate for the censorship and like denying people's right to express themselves. Because guess what? That's exactly what a certain mustached man did did in Germany during World War II. Like, you could not, if you lived in that time, in that place, you weren't even allowed to, or like at other like, dictatorships throughout human history, you couldn't even like criticize the person in charge without the police or other authorities busting down your door at 3 a.m. to arrest you for it. Like, freedom of speech is such a privilege. No, it's such a right that we have, and it's something that we all take for granted every day. And you are no place to fight fire with fire and fight hatred and intolerance with hatred and intolerance. Because guess what? Change does not happen in an echo chamber. It happens when you open yourself up to people of different perspectives. Because I've said this before in other videos that I've made, and I'll say it again here. You can learn a lot from people that you disagree with. Like, I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I did not vote for Trump in any of the 3 election cycles where I was old enough to do so. And like, I have my fair share of views that a lot of conservatives strongly disagree with. And I was involved. That's why I got involved with Young Americans for Liberty my freshman year at CSU, because I've always been unapologetically independent. I've always hated both the left and the right with a burning passion. This whole like binary way of thinking about politics. There only has to be like 2 sides. I can't stand it. I've always gravitated more towards libertarianism and being a moderate or a centrist. Like, my views go under that and the undecided and I don't give a crap sphere. Like, I don't care if the views I subscribe to make me sound like a liberal or sound like a conservative. I've always been a guy that just thinks, I like to believe I'm just a person who thinks for himself and does his own research on various subjects and comes to his own conclusions. But I have Charlie Kirk and all my old friends from y'all, because when Young Americans for Liberty, that chapter at CSU disbanded, like later that in 2018, like, because y'all they weren't very nice to our chapter, but I digress. Yeah, libertarians and Republicans at the time at least saw eye to eye on at least things economically, so we kind of clumped ourselves in at the Republican Club. And I have like I said, I have Charlie Kirk and my old friends from like y'all and the Republican Club and CSU's Turning Point USA chapter to thank for teaching me that just because someone is of a political ideology, or someone is like a registered Republican or a registered Democrat, or anything else. If they're a leftist, a liberal, conservative, moderate, this, that, and the third, doesn't mean it's a one-size-fits-all package. Yes, there is this basic label that people of that community will all like call themselves as, and well, there's like a basic consensus of what they believe in, but within that, there is like a lot of different perspectives. Because I met people of all stripes. Like, if you talk to like 10 different Democrats and 10 different Republicans and hell 10 different libertarians as to like what their views are, you're going to walk away with like 30 different parties. And if there's one thing that I know Charlie Kirk and I saw eye to eye on, is that we both had a common distaste for the two-party system, because he told me himself during that whole event that I attended. And there's just so many videos of him being screamed and cursed at by college students all around the country during his videos. People calling him racist, sexist, this, that, and the third, throwing all these buzzwords at him. But for the most part, like, I'm not saying the guy was not perfect, obviously. Again, I strongly disagreed with him on a lot of things, and loads of other people did for very understandable reasons. But he never struck me as someone who was out with malicious intentions. He was a man of God and just was like opening up discourse to people of different walks of life. And honestly, regardless of what your views are, I really think the world needs more of that. Like, we're so consumed by our hatred and using outrage as like a national pastime, essentially, that like we get so fixated on who to point fingers at and who to blame for our problems, but we never even talk about finding a solution. So I don't want this video to go on for too long, but like I want to be the change that I want to see. I want to see my country, and heck, just the world in general. Like, if you're watching this, if you're a fellow American like myself, or if you're from Canada or the UK or any other European countries, or even or Mexico, or any of my Central or South American viewers, or if you're from Africa or Australia, let me know where you're from in the comments down below, and let me know, like, hey, what is a way that I open the door to you guys now. What is a way that you think that your society, whatever it may be, whether you're from the United States like me or not, what is a way we can make the world a better place, a healthier place for us all? Like, let me know in the comments down below. And my heart goes out. And Charlie, if you're hearing this from the heavens or whatever afterlife you're in, I want to say thank you for everything you taught me over the years, and my heart goes out to you and your family and everyone else inspired by your words. May you rest in peace. Anyway, well, that's gonna do it for this video. Again, thank you so much for being here. If you weren't really oh god, I'm just yammering at this point. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And yeah, I'm really happy it's October. Thank God this year is coming to a close. I really meant. Much sending love and good wishes from Ohio. Have a good night.